Any advice that I could recommend for somebody getting into the music business or making records, find your lane and stay in it, because no one can be you except you. My name is Michael Marquart. I apologize for my rough voice from screaming all night with bad monitors last night, so I have to apologize in advance for that. I own a recording studio in Santa Monica called Windmark. It is a multi-room facility. It has Neves, SSLs. If you walk in the front door of Windmark, you're going to see a little reception area, a desk, and someone's always sitting there. Answers the door. The doors are always locked at all times. The lounge for F is straight ahead. If you turn left, then the control room for F and the studios for F is there. That was going to be my room, so everything in there is kind of how I wanted it. But when the studio was done, there was all these clients wanted to get in there. So I said, well, okay, and I kind of relinquished, command of that studio to the company. So if you go through the front door and to the right, you're going to go into the kitchen and the game room, and then the elevator goes up to the other studio, Studio A, B, C, D, and E. So all those studios are all in an upper area. Those are writing rooms. And so those little studios are kind of self-contained. Everything is wired, so if you wanted to record a vocal in the hall or in the kitchen, everything is wired, and you can do that. Usually, our clients will book the entire studio. And so they'll set up writing guys in this room, in that studio. They use every square inch they can. Sometimes there's quite large entourages that, are kind of there, and it just kind of just spills over into kind of everything. So it's pretty much a social environment. So it's pretty cool that way. We have underground parking at Windmark, and that, I think, is one of the biggest pluses we have. Considering our clients, they can just drive right down underneath, and they can go right up to the floor, right in the studio that they're actually working in. They don't have to see anyone else, and I think our higher-end clientele really appreciates that. My son and daughter really kind of run the show at Windmark, especially my daughter. She's in charge of the whole thing. She's been doing a great job. The studio is booked all the time. We put it in Santa Monica because it was really close to Universal and Warner Chapel. I mean, they're all kind of right there. And it was a pre-existing studio, so it was actually called Flight Time, and that was Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. We bought it from them and did the modifications that we did, and we've been, I think, 7 or 8 years. I think Windmark's been running in Santa Monica. I didn't really have to do a lot to it except build the Studio F. I started playing drums when I was 5 years old. And there was this guy, he was a neighbor, and his name was Anthony. He had a red Sparkle drum set in his basement. And, back in the day, you just kind of run around the neighborhood and just hang out, and Ma would go, we'll be back by 5. And I heard drums coming out of this basement window, and I looked down in this basement window, and there's Anthony down there. He's got, braces and his big, thick glasses on. And, when he's sitting there playing, playing to Monkeys songs. And wow, look at it. I mean, it was a beautiful drum set. Red Sparkle was really pretty, but he was nice enough to let me come in. I was in a million bands, played on a lot of different records. I don't know if you remember the band Alias. I did drums for 3 or 4 songs on that. I did one record with a Flock of Seagulls, did one tour with them, but it wasn't very long. It was, 2-3 weeks, but it was fun though. My first studio was a little 4-track reel-to-reel Tascam, and recording in the basement. I wound up in Virginia Beach on a business project with a friend of mine, and he was the president of Cellar Door, which Cellar Door was a huge concert promotion thing. And I can produce the records, and he'll press them, he'll put them on tour, be like a conveyor belt. We'd sign this band, stamp them out, put them out on tour, next one. We'd kind of do all that. He lost his job, so there I am, stuck in Virginia Beach with a world-class recording studio. But, there could be worse places to be. I started working with the Neptunes. They're local Virginia Beach guys. Serban Genia, who is the top mixing guy there is, was in my Studio B, so he was doing a lot of mixes for these guys, and Britney Spears and all that kind of stuff. So they started coming in and using the studio, and then next thing you know, they're kind of there all the time. So I wound up selling the studio to the Neptunes. A Bad Think is me. They're my songs. The name came from my kids. They would come down in the middle of the night. They would go, "Dad, I can't sleep. I had a bad think." So my kids are the ones that actually came up with that name. I play most of everything on there, but I always get other people to play on it, like a bass player. I get my daughter Samantha to sing on it sometimes. We're gonna get some great people to work on the new one. But it's really me. When that first Bad Think album got started, which is self-titled, since then, The Savior, which was nominated for a Grammy this year, is I think the 8th or 9th. So you can't say I'm a quitter.